Hello, everybody, and happy Thursday, and thank you for joining me for Real Talk. My name is Gretchen Hydo, and I am a professional certified life and business coach. Today, we're going to jump into part 3 of our 4-week series on secrets and the havoc that they're creating in your life. To check in, last week we talked about how your secrets are holding you back and harming you emotionally, physically, and mentally. We looked at the different type of secrets that there are, and we talked about the first two. Secrets of the body and secrets of the mind. Today we're going to take a look at the third secret, which is secrets of the other. And next week we're going to take a look at our final secret, secrets of the soul. That's always a good one, and I'm really looking forward to talking to you about that. But for today, secrets of the other and trying to belong. You know, even when you hear that, I think that everyone can agree that they've kept or had this sort of a secret. You know, when we have secrets of the other, what that means is that we are living in the mistaken belief that people have it better than we do somehow, that they know more than us, they're more talented in the world, they're more skilled, they're better somehow, just more and more and more of everything. How many times have you thought that? You know, how many times has your life not matched up to what you have thought about somebody else's? It's kind of like that grass is greener syndrome, you know, the imposter syndrome, or the fear of missing something syndrome, that FOMO disease, all rolled into one. And I have this secret, you know, sometimes I really suffer from secrets of the other and comparing myself to what other people have in the world. And the truth is that all of us are okay with where we're at, and that nobody is better and nobody is lesser than anybody else. It's just different circumstances. So when I've gone through this comparing, it always makes me feel really bad. I feel less than, I feel not good enough, I feel not a part of, and I feel like I don't fit. And the truth is, we all want to feel like we fit. You know, I have a secret, and I'll share this, and I didn't know if I was going to share it today or not, but I'm just going to go for it. When one of my sons was in preschool, there was a talent show that was going to happen. And he was going to be a part of a group with a bunch of little girls who were going to be planets. And it was supposed to be really cute and whatever else. They were going to be the galaxy. And he was going to tell jokes. Everything was going fine until one of the moms said that we were going to need to make the costumes, the planet costumes, out of paper mache. And I was like, paper what? What does that even mean? What is paper mache? So I'm not really a big arts and crafts person, not by any stretch. And so I asked her if it was something that I could buy. Clearly it was the wrong question. She kind of rolled her eyes and said, no, you have to make it. I asked her if she could help me make it. She said no, she couldn't help me make it. She told me to look on Pinterest. Now, Pinterest gives me an anxiety attack. There is no quicker way to make me feel less than, not a part of, not good enough, than to make me look at Pinterest. You know, I am just not one of those moms. More power to you if you are. I really wish it was a skill that I had, but I just don't. All of those pretty things, those really detailed things, it's just not in my skill set. It never has been. And so I kind of freaked out. But I love my son, so I wanted to figure out how he could fit in, because I don't want him to have secrets of the other either. Now, I had this astronaut costume at home, super cute. Since they were planets, I said, hey, could he be an astronaut instead and tell jokes from there? Her response, I got an email by accident that she meant to send to another mother. Oh my God, and even just thinking about this right now, my heart's really pounding. And it said, I just had a Gretchen Hydo moment. Now, I gotta tell you, for me to get that email, and to know that there was something out there in the preschool where there's all these other moms that they had termed a Gretchen Hydo moment, mortified me. What had I been doing to make them have that term? You know, was I super awkward? Was I unkind? Like, what did I do? And I felt so less than in that moment, not just because of the paper mache, but because of all of the old stories in my head of how I was as a kid, the things that happened, if people really knew, all of that, compare all of those different times with all of the different people, it just all came tumbling into one. And my feelings were hurt. Now, for me, when my feelings get hurt, the easiest emotion to access is anger. And that's another secret. of the other, is that we want to act big and powerful or like a doormat rather than just being able to say that we're sad because we want to be able to fit in. And so I was able to get in touch with the feelings and reason it out with somebody. And I had to ask myself what the best way was to respond. I knew a response was necessary. And I thought of a lot of really good ones that weren't kind that I didn't send. And then the one that I did send said something like, "Dear person, I'm so sorry that I've done as many things as I must have done for you to have termed Gretchen Hydo moments. I'm wondering if you could be kind enough to share with me what those are so that I can stop doing it, because I don't know what it is that I'm doing that would make it that there would actually be a term for my behavior, and I feel mortified." And I sent it. Now, like I said, it wasn't really what I wanted to say. I had a lot of choice words for her and what I thought about her arts and crafts and why did she have to be like that and who is she to tell me a Gretchen Hydo moment and Gretchen Hydo's way better than her and blah, blah. But that's all just ego, right? And that's that secret of the other. That, again, comparing myself, making myself either better than or less than in order to fit in. So I get a response back, and she said, "This is silly." And I don't even remember what the rest of it was, but I do remember that "this is silly." And then it was something like, "Of course we can work this out." And she never addressed the Gretchen Hydo moments. For my own well-being, I put my son in a different act for the talent show. We actually created one ourselves. And it was a rock band, and they all rocked out to like Bon Jovi, and he got to wear a leather jacket and play the drums, and it was awesome. But that was my secret. I really wanted to belong. Where have you turned yourself into a pretzel to be included? I could have that day. I could have decided to try the paper mache. I could have swallowed that Gretchen Hydo moment. I could have done any of those things, but I'm just not willing to live like that anymore. And I want to ask you, what are you hiding from others because you feel like you aren't good enough as you are? I know that the paper mache is kind of a silly example, but it is the example, one of the many examples that I have. I can think of this with guys before I was married, trying to pretend that I was something that I wasn't, or that I do things that I wouldn't. I can remember when I was in a sorority wanting to be popular and acting like I was a certain way when I really wasn't. What are those things on the inside for you that go against the core of who you really are and your authenticity? And we know when we're doing it, right? Because it feels bad. We almost feel sick inside. But we're so afraid of being left behind and not belonging that we're willing to do it. We're willing to do those things. And it's not even like it's peer pressure. It's our own peer pressure of wanting to be included with our peers that we do to ourselves that makes us behave in this way. So, one of the things that I want to say is, if you feel not good enough in an area, I want you to write it down. And then I want you to ask yourself the question, could it be possible that I'm good enough just as I am? Because here's the other thing that I found. When my clients and when I stopped trying to fit where I didn't fit, I was able to find my tribe. I was able to find my people. And I was so very scared that if I didn't keep doing the things that I needed to be one of those moms or whatever, that I would have no friends. And it just wasn't true. I have a great group of friends and we get each other. But I couldn't have had those friends and still had secrets of the other, not at the same time, because there's just not enough room. People who struggle with the secret are chronically lonely. And I fit into that category for a while. I isolated. They make bad decisions and choices based on fear of being left out and alone. To break free from this, one of the things that you need to do is decide that you're going to stop missing out on your own great big life, and that you're not going to do the things that don't feel right, be it paper mache, Pinterest, or whatever for you. And that you're going to move on with your life, because living your life in the way that you want to, it matters. You count just the way you are. You're imperfect, so am I. And those imperfections are the things that make you likable anyway. It's funny, I have a really, really good friend. She has a 5-year-old and some twins. And on the back of her car, she has a bumper sticker. It doesn't say baby on board. It says, what does it say? It says something about babies up in this bitch or something like that. And the truth is, she's not trying to be somebody different. I think it's a hilarious bumper sticker, and it's not for everybody, but we're each other's tribe and we have each other's back. And she's not trying to be anything that she isn't. and she can just be exactly who she is, and I'm glad to be that safe place for her. You know, living an authentic life, or at least trying to, is probably one of the most challenging things you will ever do. Authenticity is living a life that makes you feel good about being the person that you are. For me, being authentic is a daily response to how I want to behave in the world, you know, and it means that I get to stop feeling bad about what maybe other people expect of me, and I just get to be what I'm going to be. So for you, where are those places that you need to be more authentic? You know, where do you need to stop begging energetically to be included? Where are you leaving yourself behind? You know, that day when I sent that email, like I said, I didn't beg. I didn't go out and figure out how to do the paper mache. I simply asked for the truth. And there's power in the truth. And I needed the truth to take care of myself. We're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. And that's why there's 31 flavors, right? And I know I am not everybody's cup of tea, and that's okay. But what I promise you will happen when you start shedding the secret of the other is that you will find your people. You will find that authenticity. And that risk of being alone that you're so very afraid of is going to have the opposite effect, because you're actually going to find the people that are going to be those cornerstones in your life. When you lean into who you are and stop trying to live up to the expectations of others, you can exhale. And this is what I really love. You get to stop wasting your time pretending, and you get to start really living your life. Freeing your secrets of the other is going to help you build your own self-esteem. It's going to help you find purpose. And you know, here's what I really wanted to say today. We were all made for such a time as this, individually. And if you're not living authentically, you will never know why you were made for this time and why it's important. We all have our big gift to share with the world. And if you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, you might miss it. So I encourage you to take a chance and give yourself a shot. Get to know who you are. It might be scary. You might lose some people along the way. They might react in a different way than you were expecting. But in the end, you're going to stop being in conflict with yourself and how you feel like you're supposed to act, and you can finally just be. And that is more than enough. You know, I really want to thank you for being here today. I've been trying to work on these Facebook Lives to bring you material that you're going to be interested in. If there's a topic that would be of interest to you, you know, shoot me an email. I'd love to hear that. If you have a story about your secrets of the other, please share that as well. And join me next Monday for our Motivational Mondays at 10:15. And next Thursday at 3:15, we're going to have our final secret series. Secret number 4 is going to come out, and we'll talk about that too. Until then, you guys, shine on purpose. Thanks so much.